Yeah, folks, I just missed out on something that would have been good with this demo that I just did. I could have had 4 possibilities instead of 3, but I decided not to. And that's an example of what can happen in the game of photocopier art. It's a bit of a gamble trying to work out what's going to look the best at the end of the demo. And it's really challenging, and it's like a game show, folks. Doing what I'm doing here on the photocopier feels like I'm playing a game show where you could win a lot of money, and sometimes you come that close to winning and you just lose, and it's like a form of crash and burn. And I really wish I had tried that last possibility, but I thought, I didn't think, so stupid, and I'd take it off camera, and there it was. This would have been probably the best version. So folks, photocopier art is no walk in the park, folks. I'll try and make a positive out of that, just to let you know that it's not easy. You can't always get what you want. And when you're doing it on camera, you're under the pump. You're under the pump when you're on camera, folks. You're on under the pump. You don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know, as I said, you don't know how it's going to work and how it's going to eventuate. Sometimes you're just flying blind. You don't know what it's going to look like and how you're going to perform it. It's difficult, folks. It's really fucking hard to do this. This is what we're photocopying, folks. So yeah, to try and make the best out of what you do, you don't always get it right, because you're only human, folks. I'm only human, even though I try to use my giftedness as hard as I can. I still get it wrong, folks. I still fucking get it wrong, and that shows that I'm human. That I'm not. You just can't win all the time, and you just get so frustrated with yourself because you're an artist and you're a perfectionist or a near perfectionist. So it's really a challenge, folks, to try. And I had a feeling I was going to fuck it up by doing that. I just really I could have had 4 different versions. That's the best. You don't get that very often. You usually only get 3, and sometimes you don't know where you are with it because I'm disabled and my memory is fucked up. So, I really am angry about what I just did. I'm fucking angry. I'm trying to make some understanding of it, some use of it. I try to make the negatives into a positive, folks. I try to make something of it. I try to do this. It's not an easy art. People like my dad don't appreciate that this is a talent, not a foolishness. My dad just doesn't get it. My dad wants me to do normal things. He wants me to be an average person, a mediocre person, because he thinks that I'm going to fail. He thinks that what I'm doing here is a fucking failure. He does. He thinks it's failure. Because I have been working on this stuff for decades. I made some mistakes in my life, and that's why Dad thinks like that. So I'm trying to get this work that I'm doing here on the 6 o'clock news on Channel 9 to show my dad that I'm not a failure, that I'm not a fucking failure, that my art is valid, that what I'm doing is valid, that what I'm doing is real, that it's true art, even though it's not the average kind of art. It's not considered like normal art, but basically I'm not going to give up, folks. I'm not going to give up. I've got dreams to chase, folks. I've got to find where my partner is, where Luigi is, so I can get married and unbox my life as a gift. To see my life as a gift, as well as what I do here at the photocopier, that my life is a gift, that it is something beautiful, that it can be something beautiful. And these colours are looking shit. I don't know what I'm doing here, folks. But yeah, I do get angry. I get miffed when I miss an opportunity like I just showed you there. But I'm going to try not to let it get to me. I've got to try to just accept what's happened and move on and just keep going ahead. One day I want to redesign the photocopier from scratch. And I'm sure when I build this thing, when I start prototyping it, I'm going to make a lot of errors. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm going to fucking blow things up. I'm going to make things burn accidentally. All sorts of shit's going to happen while I'm designing this thing. But I've got to accept that I'm human and that there will be mistakes. There will be things being blown up and singed. You know, just like in a typical, any kind of workshop where prototyping happens. Got to keep it on negative. So, you know, we've got to accept these things as they are. You know, we've got to accept that nothing's perfect. Nothing's handed to us on a silver platter. You know, that we have to fucking work for it. And we have to, especially when you make mistakes. Well, I do believe my life was handed to me on a silver platter because Luigi was there and I met him when I was young and I kept running into him as if it was destiny. As if destiny was wanting us to be together, and really I missed the whole point of it, folks, and I ended up turning down blind alleys and doing things. So you could say my life up until recently, fairly recently, was riddled with mistakes, riddled with silly errors, with things that should never have happened, things that should have happened and things that should never have happened. So that mishap with my artwork is nothing compared to what I've had to live with, compared with my life as it stands. And that's come up looking really nice. So yeah, I do consider the artwork a piece compared with what I've dealt with in my life as just a minor issue. Even though it seems like it's a problem now because I've just fucked it up. But basically, yeah, I just have to move on and try my best not to fuck it up again, you know, to just move on, to just make amends, you know. And realise that there'll always be fuck-ups and stuff-ups and shit. That there'll always be mistakes and errors. So, you know, I just have to fucking accept what has happened and move on and try to make something good out of it. So I'm hoping that maybe something good will come out of what I did when I didn't take the opportunity to marry Luigi. That somehow something wonderful will happen, something better. Even though I'm now over 50, I turned 51 on the 1st of January this year. So 2024. So on the 1st of January. So new beginnings, folks, you could say. But basically I'm really angry at myself for the things I did, and I could have been married at 19. I could have maybe worked in photocopier R&D. How would I have dealt with my disability though? That's the thing. They didn't have the technology back then to fix brain damage that happened at birth, because I had a cord around my neck and I came out breech. And really that's a hard start to a person's life, is to start your life with oxygen sucked out of your body, out of your brain. But basically, yeah, I started life pretty much, it was a stuff up. The nurses were allegedly not around when it happened, when I was being born. I think I'm trying to remember what it said on my birth certificate. I think I was born at 5:20 a.m. and it was born in Guam. And yeah, I heard, my mum told me years ago that people were partying and they weren't there for my birth. They weren't there to intercede with this problem with the cord around my neck and coming out feet first. I've got to enlarge that a bit bigger. I just got that little bit of corner there. So yeah, I really had the odds were stacked against me already in that period, that I already had to go back to 150. So I already had my life stacked against me, because I had a cord around my neck and I came out feet first, and that interfered with my education. It interfered with my education. I couldn't do my schoolwork properly. I did not enjoy school. I do believe I also have undiagnosed high functioning autism as well. That made my social life really difficult because I kept getting teased and bullied and treated like trash at school, and schoolwork, there was a lot of pressure put on me at school, and I was expected to perform from not just the teachers but my parents, and I really struggled with school, and it was not a happy place. And then I took all the trouble into my work life, and I still wasn't popular there. I was still being teased and bullied, or at least teased most of the time. What was that I saw? Don't want that. But basically, yeah, I really had it hard, and I just couldn't tolerate what I had to tolerate, but I had to tolerate it because there was no other way. So, I guess the school people made me make some of the wrong decisions and the people from my local church fellowship also were hard on me. And some of them bullied me, and some of them were just treating me in a snobby and dismissive sort of a way. So, I got bad influences from both education and church, which was really not good. I mean, they should be places where people are feeling safe and loved and cared for, not fucking feeling alienated and feeling in danger, especially school. And you'd think that church fellowship should have been a place for me to feel safe or to feel happy, should I say. It wasn't that. I didn't get into any fights at church, but I basically, I did have, that's come up looking really quite interesting. I do wonder if I'm going to make a switcheroo with this one, or if that is a centrepiece. That's a tough choice, folks. I don't want to make the same mistake twice, but I got a feeling that is like the centrepiece. I think we can call it quits, but if I fucked it up, I fucked it up. Okay, folks, that's my 2 cents for the day.